to everyone, it's Olaf from Poison Rock, and as an Italian, I'm proud today to have with us one of the best Italian bands and well known in all over the world. So I'm happy finally to bring because Vision Divine. We have Olaf with us. First of all, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you so much for your nice words.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, all the time, bands like even Sonata Arctica ask me all the time, which bands there are in Italian, which are the big, like how is the music scene in Italy? And
Well,
yeah, and also of the time, you know, we are like, well, but Vision Divine are between those bands that make the history in the music scene
well, thank you so much.
since
Thank you so much.
I don't want to say, but since decades.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
your music really, I think, carved the generation. And but before everything, before speaking about as well, like a little bit the
Oh,
beautiful sound, and I want to just to ask you about really in a short word about your personal musical background, Olaf, because you're an amazing musician, and I
no,
saw it.
thank you.
I was there because for people that doesn't know, I'm happy to do this interview because the Vision Divine performed in I think one of the best performances in the last years with
Wow.
it's Metal for Emergency with the Italian. There was a chaos on the stage. There was a Fabiano. There was literally it was three different singers singing. Was a two guitarists. Was a I don't know. Was like an happy celebration on the stage.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It was like a party to us because between the many aspects of
Yeah.
being happy about being in such a big and famous festival as Emergency, um, as we mentioned that night, we were there also to celebrate our 25th anniversary. So we called many guests, many friends, some ex-members, and we celebrated all together. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned, it's been a very nice party. We had all together, and people enjoyed, and people participated
Yeah.
together with us, and they made the evening very, very much unforgettable
Yeah,
together.
and I have to say because everyone was watching, and I felt to be really like I was saying to you like a PFM live show, and there was like the family, you had the kids and the father recording you with a video, and even the people
Yeah,
stopped to recording. It felt like and this is the beauty of I, the music, and it's beautiful
yeah,
that in
exactly.
Italy too. So because
That's
I thought that you was lost. You restored my belief in Italian music.
no, no. That's yeah. Thank you for your nice words.
No,
But
it's true.
my opinion is that Italian music has always been active and alive, and sometimes, especially nowadays, with our our how can I say, everything goes so fast with the digital
Yeah.
medias. So we tend to get overwhelmed by those bigger bands, usually foreign bands, which are exposing themselves like 10 times per day on a daily basis. So sometimes Italians step a bit aside, and you may think, well, there's no movement, there's no scene, but the scene is here, and I always say it's very alive and rocking.
I saw, even at Metal for Emergency, I saw bands, younger bands, Game Over. Like, I was like, what the? And I was like, I have to really interview all of them because, I mean, we have bands that literally are same value and some even more of an international band because we're a
Yeah,
big band and
I agree. I agree.
yeah, and they deserve the best, like you. And that's why I was asking about your personal background because as a musician, growing up, like as well, like of course the sound, your sound is quite clear, but. Actually, I think each one of us growing up, had a kind of a guitar hero or someone,
Sure.
even I don't know, some family
Well, my background is various. It's not I play metal, but and of course, metal has a big part in my musical life since I was a teenager. But I am not focused only on metal. Actually, I like many genres, many bands from different kind of music. It's not a secret that one of my all-time favorite bands are Aha.
Right.
And you wouldn't guess so by listening to what I play, but actually they are somehow present in my music because
Okay.
some melodies, my way of making songs with a certain harmony and then melodies which goes over the music are coming from bands like Aha. Another very funny band. Some people laugh when I mention this band. Another band I loved a lot when I was a teenager are Modern Talking.
Oh, why not?
And
It's
for those who are too young, you may want to check Modern Talking and songs like Sherry Sherry Lady, which is
I
one
remember.
of the most famous.
Yeah,
And
right.
again, um, beside the big hits, the most famous hits, which maybe of course are very distant, I have been listening to these bands, and I mean the whole discography. And if you listen to other songs which maybe are a bit less famous, you may find something which is not so distant from a certain way I have to approach music. So, and of course, then I love metal bands. I mean, my favorite bands in metal are Judas Priest,
I mean,
Creator, and my all-time favorite band are Face Warning. So
it's warning. I didn't
yeah,
follow
yeah.
them in
So
a while.
and as a guitarist, I mean, there's no need to mention Yngwie Malmsteen. I basically uh, Yngwie as a special place in my heart because when I was a teenager, I was mostly listening to thrash metal. So my favorite bands were Forbidden, Creators, Layer,
Forbidden
Testament.
yourself. That
Yeah, Forbidden,
that.
Mordred. Do you know Mordred?
Yeah, of course, Daniel White. We are all buddies. Daniel White.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So this is my main core
yeah. Let's say the
metal
Bay
music.
Area. The Bay.
But when I finally listened to an album from this guy Ingrid Malmsteen, I realized there was another way of being. I was liking fast music,
Yeah,
but at the same time, of course, Malmsteen was neoclassical, more
yeah.
melodic,
It's not classical.
with melodic singers, and that's when I started. And I say, okay, you can play fast, but you can also be more melodic. And even if it was different from my other bands, it was more fitting with all the bands I mentioned. I was listening to
Yeah,
a lot of melodic music,
yeah.
and
Of course.
Ingwe made this thing even more possible because before there was thrash metal was something, and then I don't know, haha was a complete different thing. But with
Yeah.
Ingwe, I thought there was a way to mix the two things together.
So yeah, I know we have done always to forget that all the amazing guitar sorry singer that Ingwe had, like Max,
Yeah, 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 of course.
they coming from as
My,
well a melodic background, which is hard rock, or
yeah, 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 yeah,
like
of
a
course.
erotica or like Matsalama, for example. And so that's as well like a kind of a background that he has. And is one of the most, it's a composer for me. He's more than a guitarist, it's a composer in 100%.
Yeah, is
Like,
a legend. Is a
he
legend.
can play alone and he can play an entire, I don't know, he can play literally compose an entire, you don't need bass, you don't need vocals, you don't need, it's him. You understand? It's like an entire
Sure.
orchestra himself. So
Yeah.
you, as far as I can understand, you went through like let's say in your style there's the melodic part, the classical
Yeah.
part, melodic, and as well like a little bit of the trash of the Bay Area,
Yeah.
which goes like, for example, Mordred. It's you're the second person that knows Mordred except for me, that mix these. It was at the early trash, the kind of
Yeah.
first,
Yeah. Yeah.
second wave, let's say during.
It was back then. It was we were starting to read a special definition of that music, which was techno trash.
Yeah, because there was a Forbidden, Defiance, all these.
Defiance,
Yeah,
Annihilator, all those
I,
all those bands. And my well, actually, my all-time favorite guitarist is Josh Christian, which was he was the guitarist from an American thrash band called Toxic.
Toxic. Okay, okay, okay.
Toxic. All my style, well, I was really a teenager, but all my style, actually, what the way I play nowadays comes absolutely 100% from
And this,
that band, Toxic, because back then there was no internet. So the only way you could learn was putting the vinyl, I was putting it on a cassette, and
yeah.
then I was pushing on the cassette to slow down and learn all the tricks he was doing. That's how I studied all the things I still use nowadays. I had the chance of meeting him. I talked to him and I told him that without him, today I would play completely different.
I mean, that's true because like many people, of course, because and personally, I think for what I know about Vision Divine by Sam myself, and from what I saw in live, you have there's not like okay, maybe it could be power, could be that, but there's a little bit of something in both. There's a rhythm, there's a, I don't know. For me, I don't know why it reminds me of the energy of a PFM. I don't know why.
Oh,
Many
okay.
people
Well,
maybe doesn't know who is PFM. If they don't know, I'm sorry, it's a big mistake. It's one of the biggest Italian, maybe European progressive rock band. Let's say
of course, yes.
get informed, please, because they merge a lot of genre and make their own performance and music enjoyable and for everyone. And that's what I can perceive from Vision Divine because I wasn't there on the stage and I want to like to I don't know, one moment at bang, one moment jump. There was a mix of emotion. I still
Thank you.
think that I have the video on my phone.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I even did, I think, a 2 or 3 video with the camera. So because of course you can miss those. And seeing the scene, come on, that this, I was literally blown away by the voice, one of the most beautiful voice that I ever heard. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing,
Okay.
really. Next time, because I want to know his influences now. But your music, you're coming back to your guitars, let's say guitar technique. Of course, it carved you, and you bring this in a Vision Divine as I think, as a
Yeah.
influence, as a genre, and a composing album. This is the 25th anniversary of Vision Divine, which is a
Yes. Yes.
big thing. So
We're
from
getting old.
yeah, from Vision Divine in 99 until,
Yeah.
let's say, not properly the last one, but let's say in Colors of My World, which is I think the last one before the one that you released now.
Yeah.
In not maybe just because if we go to always dig and dig and dig, we can stay with Olaf like 3 years. But you think the sound, literally in these 25 years of the band, the sound itself, the core changed? Or it's always been there, maybe changed a little bit, but what is in your personal opinion? Because of course,
Well, of course it changed. We all change, even if we don't want to, even if we believe we are not changing.
yeah,
That's something we must somehow accept. I
yeah,
accepted it. And at the same time, if anyone would be so crazy to listen to all my albums in a row, it would find something peculiar, which every album is different from the one before.
that's good.
Then maybe there's a repetition in the 25 years. Maybe, in example, this very last one is, to many people, is recalling somehow the style which we started with in the
Yeah,
early
yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. That's I
Then, with that, of course, because in 25 years, my band acquired some status, let me say so, without the,
yeah.
the
No,
most
it's true.
possible humility. But I want to be humble with this. But I
No,
mean,
it's true.
we
I'm
have,
telling
we have 25 years of history. And of course, in 25 years, a band achieved a sound.
yeah.
So I could not change it completely. And I don't know, let's say tomorrow I release an album which sounds like Rammstein. I love Rammstein,
Kind
but
of
Rammstein
the
don't
difference.
belong to
Yeah,
my style. So that would be too much. So sooner or later, I know a band, the more it's it's staying alive and releasing albums. It's starting to turn around the bush. But
Yeah.
at the same time, what we try and what we always did was every album has to be a bit different from the previous one.
Okay.
So the circle is wider and longer,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we and that also, as we mentioned, I have so many influences that
Yeah.
that's how we can do. I like hard rock, I like AOR, I
Yeah.
like I like dance music, I like pop music, I like blues, and of course we cannot be a blues band, but sometimes we can take something and focus a bit more on that side.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are faster, like in this case, we are much faster than before, but sometimes we are a bit more progressive. I do not consider my band as a 100% progressive
No,
band,
but
but still some progressive elements are there, and it's all helpful. It's all working in order to make our music
I think
a
it's
bit.
more.
We have more choices, and we try to pick here
Yeah.
and there to make it a bit different.
That, yes, that's why when I talk with the, many people, you see that you can hear from people that Vision Divine, and I don't know, could be the I don't know, let's take an example. My dad that comes from Le Orme, PFM, this type of style. Yes,
It's all bands that I know. I know Le Orme, I know Banco del Mutuo Soccorso.
exactly. But I could say, oh, I like Vision Divine because there's something that maybe I don't know, capture him from another generation. They could be the people from your generation, my generation, even people from young. Because what I saw was literally the word that what blew my mind. Seeing kids, could it be 11, could it be 12, recording with their phone? I would prefer with the old camera, but let's say that we are in 20 with a phone, recorded your performance. That's what was beautiful, seeing even kids. So could
Yeah, yeah, we are
that's beautiful.
since
That
we are 25 years old now as a band, which is some time. Of course, it's nice nowadays to see our early generations, and sometimes they come to the show with their sons, and
yeah,
we also have the new generation of people, which sometimes they don't even know our first or second albums because they were 25 years ago,
but
and
then
they know the latest releases, and
yeah, and then you have
that's interesting. It makes me feel a bit
yeah.
old, but at the same
No,
time,
no.
it's nice.
I mean, but then you have as well the one that knows everything about your discography, every album you made, every song you made, everyone that was in the band, any lineup formation, like in the Vision Divine Obsessed, they call them. And then, but of course, there are those bands that really are in, which I think is normal. Like everyone has a favorite band, everyone feels. So you have those bands that are literally, those fans that are literally like following you since the early beginning. Of course, maybe I was 12, but I remember in my 20 the name, and I remember my 21. So for 15 years, 17 years at least, I know who are Vision Divine. But like I was saying, especially in this last album and what I saw as well live, um, Ivan voice is amazing. I think he gives a touch of I don't know, unicity, something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, he has a
oh,
peculiar voice, which is the reason why we chose him.
yeah,
Because uh, sometimes when we changed the singer three times. Ivan is the third singer in the band, and every time we present a new singer, people think only how good the singer can be, the new singer, and when they mention good, most of the times they only think about extension, high
no,
pitch.
no, it's how
This
you
is
are on
not this
stage.
is not important to
No,
us. What is important is um, to have the sound in
yeah,
in the voice, which you can recognize.
yeah,
That's what people don't sometimes don't realize. Having, of course, being technique, having a wide range, it's important. If you
yeah,
play our music, of course, we need a singer which is capable of
yeah.
high range. But at the same time, that's not the main thing we look for. What we look for is to have the sound, some timbre,
Mhm.
which you hear and you say, okay, that's him, that's him.
Yeah,
And he even has it, even has this peculiar voice. And once you know him, you get to know him with our albums or something he did before with other bands like Derdian. Once you know him, wherever he sings, you say, okay, that's him. I recognize him. And
yeah,
that's what's important.
and
Not only
that's
on vocals, it's important on guitars, it's important on keyboards, on drums. Whenever you have something which makes you unique, recognizable, that's
exactly.
when you have something more.
And of course, like in Blood and Angel Tears, that of course I wanted to say because Philip has been really a nice, has been an amazing person because I first time I met him throughout Scarlet Records. I wanted
Yeah.
to ask about, of course, the sound, like we said, is also coming back to the, let's say, to the for the early stages, early beginning.
Yeah.
But lyric wise, what we see in Blood and Angel Tears as a main topic is kind of a concept, or it is a which I mean people that can listen to it, what they can hear throughout the lyrics, or like a
Well, we are one of our characteristics is specifically the fact that we very often, it's not always, write concept albums.
okay,
So every time we write an album, it's a story, it's like a book going
exactly,
on. And Blood and Angels Tears, again, is a story which, for the very first time, is not over with this album, but it's split in two parts. So
okay,
Blood and Angels Tears is the first part of a story which will end the next year in 2025 with the next album, which we are starting to
okay.
produce. So it's a long story. It's two concept albums put together.
Okay, so let's say that for people that usually, it's like when people start to listen an album, they can listen, especially today with I don't know, Spotify or something, they start with the fifth
Yeah.
track. So for giving a best as well understanding of the album, it's better to start with the first song and going throughout the last,
Well, it's important if you want to listen
especially
to
have
the
an idea.
music, but at the same time you want to follow what's going on.
Yeah.
But when we write songs, we also care not to make things so chaotic. And
Okay.
so if you want to listen to one song, you can still do it.
Okay, so I know it's not like
But lyric wise, if you follow the story, it's definitely more interesting, which is why we named the songs in the album chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, because we wanted it to be clear since the start that it's better if you follow the chapters.
okay, and of course, there is of course this album is already released. I mean, it's over like since almost a month, and
Yeah,
I'd say that people still can find it, of course, because I read there is a in vinyl, there is a in CD, I think too, right? Originally
yeah,
in
yeah.
all the platform, and
Every platform, yeah,
yeah, like nowadays, we listen on.
yeah,
I mean, I have vinyls, thanks to my dad, but still, this is the fastest way. So let's say that
yeah,
to recommend to the people is going throughout the first to the last. So the first chapter to the, let's say,
yeah. If you do that, and
this last chapter.
nowadays you can also type for the band's name and album, and you can
Yeah,
check on the lyrics if you want.
yeah,
So
exactly.
you
See
can
many.
have lyrics like people listening to this interview now. They can right in this very moment. They can click on Spotify,
Yeah.
put on the name, the band's name, and they can
Yeah.
listen to the whole album in a row if they want. Yeah,
And then all this company
that's
too.
yeah.
Yeah. And of course, like, because of course, like you've been playing live since, I mean, 25 years and more. But I want to ask you about playing live. There is a really like I know it's not easy to answer, but one or two songs that you really have fun to play on Vision Divine that you like. This is where I can give the best of Olaf.
Um, well, from the musician's point of view,
Yeah.
things will always be different.
Okay.
because that this is something I notice. Of course, people listening to us, following us
Yeah.
during our life, they expect us and they want us to play some songs which they love.
Yeah, but
And at the same time, what people don't realize is that probably those songs are something which we have been playing for sometimes 25 years in a row. So your favorite song, I mean, let's make an example. One of the songs which people love the most is a song called La Vita Fugge.
yeah.
And of course, I like that song, and it's funny to play that. But when I read in the set list and I see that song is coming, I realize I have been playing it since 2003.
Okay.
So that makes 21 years
Okay.
playing the
Live.
same song. So as you can understand,
You are,
my perception is
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But whenever I started and I see people happy,
It's
then I'm happy myself because it's a
yeah.
song I like. It's a song. It's like eating chocolate, you know.
Yeah.
If you eat chocolate every day,
Yeah.
uh, you may love it. You want to buy
But
chocolate,
it's always show.
but the cook making chocolate every day
Yeah.
maybe is not so fond of chocolate anymore.
Yeah, yes, it's true. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. And like you mentioned, like things can change always all the time. But of course, that the story and the music, vision, I think people, especially people from that I would like that from abroad, that maybe not, don't know that much Vision Divine because they always ask,
Yeah,
can especially the young generation can just
yeah,
dive deep as well in this music in Italy because we have beautiful important bands. So every time and I try to bring out and make me happy when people name me. I don't know. They name Vision Divine. They name Necodet from South America, and I was like,
yeah,
really? They know them? Okay, I'm happy because it's a kind of, that's we are Italian. We are really always proud about our things, our food, our music, our everything.
yes, yes.
But of course, before ending the interview, Olaf, I wanted to ask you if there are some live show that you planned that you can say with Vision Divine in Italy, some live show like
Yeah, sure.
okay,
We are starting to play the next shows in December.
okay,
There's going to be some Italian shows, so we're
okay,
going to play, I think, Pesaro, I think
okay,
Pisa. Another one should be, I think, Mantova.
okay, perfect.
So anyway, we'll be announcing everything
The tour in Italy.
on our platform medias,
People can
Facebook,
look about it.
Instagram, the typical things. And then, of course, since then we will start playing as much as we can. So
Of course, I mean,
hopefully, yeah, we love playing. I like playing live much more than making albums, honestly.
yeah,
It's more fun to play
I
live.
saw I saw the passion you have.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have the photo. I was sending to you. I have the photo. I saw the passion, and everyone saw it. But in the next interview, I hope that we can have a full package of Vision Divine because I want to ask as well about their background and
yeah,
dig more about even as well Blood and Angel Tears chapter, go throughout the story because for that we need a whole
yeah.
a whole in one special interview. This was like giving the background for the people that maybe they love, I don't know, power metal, hard rock, and never heard about Vision Divine, which I think it's weird, but it's because I'm in Sicily. I want to say, Olaf, thank you so much. It was for me an honor as knowing,
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure for me as well.
and I wish you good rest of the evening. And let's stay in touch because I would
Sure,
like to plan maybe even the next month, then November, December, if you are free with the other an interview with the
we
audience.
can surely arrange. We can surely arrange something.
Thank you so much.
You're always more than welcome. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
your
Have a beautiful
enthusiasm. It's very contagious.
yeah, thank you. I love music. That's what I can do, and I love
Yeah,
special.
we'll do. We'll do.
And still, congratulations for the last album and the 25 years and the performance at Metal for Emergency. One of the best that I saw. That
Thank you so much.
was
Thank you so
really
much.
touching. Really,
So
I
see you
was
soon.